It's Throwback Thursday. Woo! I know I've missed a few days of the vlogs. Wasn't feeling great, so I decided to pass on a few. They were pretty boring days anyway, so I was pretty much in bed most of the day. But it's Wednesday. I'm feeling better. I'm gonna run out shortly. I got some dining room chairs for our table finally. They don't match, but I got them for $10 each, so I'm not going to complain. I got to go pick those up in a few minutes. So I'll see you in a bit. Today's throwback takes us back to 1988. Some of my BMX days. This was out front of my friend's Kelly's house before Dale's Pharmacy built their car garage, which you can see in the background, which we spent many winters in there riding because there was no snow. Yeah, that's me. Surfer, cherry picker. Just doing some kick turn on the ramp and the Miami hopper. Ooh, miss those days. Look how thin I used to be. Crazy. Hey guys, I'm just down in the drum room here. Need to clean up and do a bit of stuff down here. I need to fix a couple of wood hoops on my spare bass drum that I got with this kit. Got Smoke and Deal on it, so there was a couple of things that had some issues, but I mean, I got my good 4-piece kit out of it, and I actually have another 4-piece kit over there I could put together, and I do have an extra snare to throw on it, so I'll keep a backup set just in case, because you never know. When you're up gigging, you blow the bottom of your snare batter out and you're done. But I always bring an extra spare snare with me just for that reason. So yeah, I'm going to decide what I'm going to do down here, and then I'll let you guys know what. Okay, see you in a little while. Hey, just a quick pit stop before I go down into the drum room. But yeah, we got a little bit of snow, as you can see. There's the top of the driveway. I'm not even going to be able to car out of there to go pick up Kale at 4 o'clock. So get the snow blower out. I'm going to do that real quick. I got about an hour before I got to go pick her up and worry about coming home and finishing the driveway then. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, I cannot believe how much it's snowed in the last day. We've got at least another foot, and they're calling for more. Crazy. Hey guys, this is what I'm dealing with. So we had a little bit of snow there, but because of our foot, I just got to pull the left side of the driveway off so I can get the car up to pick up Tail in a little bit. So I'm going to get her and come back and finish the driveway. Not to mention it's minus 16 out here, which is 0 to my American place. So I am frozen. I've only been out here for half an hour. There's the problem right there, guys. Normally, like on my old kit, I had steel hoops on it, and this Pearl kit here has got wood hoops, which are usually better quality. That bass drum probably got kicked around a bit. Just looking at the lugs and everything on it, they're all scratched. I picked up the kit from the buddy's garage, so who knows how long they were getting kicked around in there, but that one's completely broken, and the other side's just got, looks like somebody jabbed it with a screwdriver or something, split it open, but didn't actually break it. So gonna take these over to the workbench and get some wood glue on those and clamp them back together, and then I'll throw some heavy duty tape on both sides just to kind of help it adhere after that, and it won't come apart that easy. That is hoop number 2. It's not completely broken all the way through. Like I said, it looked like somebody stabbed it with a screwdriver or something, so I'll try to clean that up as best as I can, throw some glue in there, and get a couple of clamps on there. Luckily it's not on an important part, so I can just hide it with the lug. Same with the other one. So when I'm tightening the bass drum heads back onto that, I'll put the lug right over that, so you won't even see it, and it'll help protect it a little bit in case it gets dropped again. I'm back. So I've got everything ready. Got my hoop that I need to repair. Going to clamp it all down. Got my wood glue and some tools. One little tip I'll give you guys: if you have 2 projects to do, one's really hard and one's fairly easy, start with the easy one. Too many times I've started with the bad one and figured, you know what, I want to get it out of the way first and the rest will be a piece of cake. But you know the way things work. One thing turns into another, and I get frustrated as hell, and I'm working at it for hours, and I don't even get to the easy one. So I've learned to start with the easy one first. You know, it's nice and easy. I can take my time. It's just a matter of cleaning it up, throwing some wood glue in there and clamping it down, and then I'll work on the hard one. So if I get frustrated, at least I've got one done. What up, party people? It's 10:05. I'm here at the good old Georgian Mall to pick up Kayla from work. Mall's extended its hours for Christmas up until 10 now instead of 9. I don't know why, because there's nobody in the parking lot. But anyways, yeah, I finished the driveway finally at like 8:30. Had about an hour break in between there when you guys saw me. I went to go get Kayla, and then she wasn't there. So, and I let my clothes dry out in front of the fireplace. So, still took me... Oh, somebody just walked by the car. Still took me a good 3 hours to do it anyways. I'm beat. Like, I am so tired. I fell asleep, you know, lying in bed there just waiting for Kayla. It's time to come. What is up, party people? I am down here at the workbench on the other side of the basement, the junkyard that we call the basement. Anyways, I'm going to get things a little organized and get started on those hoops. Hey guys, so I got the first hoop here, and as you can see, it looks like it got hit from underneath somehow and pushed all the wood up and even raised the inside piece there. So I'm just gingerly going to go in there, try to clean up as much of this down out of the way so I can actually clamp this down into a flat position, because right now it's just there's too much gunk in there. But anyways, and I had these door shims, which are basically when you're putting a door in, like the whole door assembly, and you got to shim it up to sort of get to open and close properly. So I cut a few pieces of those. So when I actually use the clamps, I can put those on top and on the bottom, so I won't get these round imprints and stuff into the wood. So this is hoop number 2. A little bit more damage. Obviously it got dropped at some point, because I've actually done that before where I had an older pearl set with wood hoops. And just moving it a few inches, I picked it up off the ground and just caught it the wrong way on the corner, and the friggin' hoop just split just like this. Back then I was kind of in a hurry. I was packing up to get ready for a gig, so I just basically threw it together, and I had some little pieces of metal, and I just kind of threw one on each side and put a couple of nuts and bolts through it, and it, you know, it worked fine. I mean, it looked like ass, but it worked fine, and I actually ended up keeping it like that for the longest time. But I have the time now, so I'm going to try to fix this properly. I just test fitted it, and it slides. It was a pretty clean break, so it slides right in. So it's just going to be a matter of throwing some glue in there, putting it back together, and clamping it all together. Hey everybody, I don't even know if you can see me, but welcome to part 2 of snow blowing the driveway. So I went to go pick up Kayla at 4 o'clock, waited around like 20 minutes, wondering what was going on. So I texted Kay, and she got called into her second job at the mall to cover somebody because they couldn't make it in because of the weather. But Kay texted her mom, but didn't text me, and Robin was sleeping when I left. I just knew I had to go get her at 4. So a few things got crossed. Well, anyways, after doing the first part of the driveway, I took all my clothes in, put them in front of the fire so we could all dry out, because everything was soaked after like about 45 minutes to an hour out there. I'm back at it. I can't see Boo, so I had to bring the truck over and light the driveway so I can kind of see what I'm doing, because it's pretty dark out here. I figured I'd at least have the reflection off the snow, but it's still coming down like crazy, so I don't know, I'll probably be at least another hour at change, so I'll see you in a little bit. I'm in bed now, so it was a pretty productive night and a decent day, so nothing else to say. I guess I'll see you tomorrow then. Always remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. And always remember to rock on. Welcome to today's vlog. Today's Wednesday, December something. I know Christmas is only like a couple weeks away. Not much happening. Just got out of the shower. Put my hair in a ponytail. Yeah, I don't feel like doing my hair today. So I'm in the basement. It's 9 a.m. We're getting a new water softener put in today. The guy should be here any minute. There's the old one. That thing's like... straight out of 1970, so it stopped working a couple weeks ago. So I have a guy coming today, and he's going to install a brand new one. So I'll fill you in when he gets here. The FedEx guy just came to the door and dropped this off for me. My sister-in-law Danielle, who live in Herman, Utah, sent me some South Park tree ornaments, and my favorite one of all, Mr. Hanky, the Christmas Pooh. He's another South Park character. I got a good laugh out of that. Okay, and that's number 1 done. So you can see, I went heavy on the glue. I'm probably going to have to clean that up after, which is no big deal. I mean, it dries pretty clear anyways. So I got my pieces of bracing wood on both sides, just so I didn't dig those clamps into the hoop itself. But looks like it's going to turn out okay. I'm going to go back. There is a bit of a gap on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this set up for 24 hours, make sure it's good. And then I've got some sawdust that I keep, which I mix with the wood glue. And I can go back and fill in that that gap in there, and then sand it all down, make it look pretty. But if you might be wondering, why didn't I just turn it over and use the other side to face out? Well, actually, the face that goes against the drum head and the hoop itself is actually flat on one side and curved on the other. So the curved side is what faces the crowd, and the flat side obviously sits flush with the drum head. So it's not with steel hoops. Steel hoops, you can do that, no problem. They're same on both sides. So it's just when you get into the wood stuff and a little bit better quality, you're going to find that there's a bit more craftsmanship in them. So I tend to try to get the stuff when I can. It's not always available. My old kit was actually a kit I've had from the 80s. It was a Tama Imperial Star kit. So it's a 24-inch bass drum, and compared to the 22, that's pretty much standard size. The only problem with the 24 is it's not as deep as this one is, so you tend to get more of a punchy sound. That was the kind of sound that was going on back in the 80s, whereas this gives you a deeper, low-end sound. Plus, with a 24-inch bass drum, I have to stack my toms up higher, so it raises everything up a little bit. And you see in my kits, I like to play everything nice and low, so this gives me a couple more inches to play with. Doesn't sound like a lot, but you'd be surprised how much a couple inches make. So yeah, you ladies, you understand. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, just wanted to get that across. And that is number 2. There's a tiny bit of a gap in there, but like I said earlier, what I'm gonna just end up doing is throwing one of the lugs that clamp everything onto the bass drum itself. So it'll cover it up. You won't be able to see it. Plus, it'll help secure it and keep it protected from being cracked again. But anyways, yeah, it wasn't actually too harmless. This maybe took me half an hour to do both of them. So I'm going to let them sit for 24 hours. And I'm going to spend the rest of the time cleaning up the shop because it's a disaster. I haven't been down here in a few months. So everything's just kind of been taken upstairs, thrown back on the bench, thrown on the floor. I got a pile of crap I got to sort through down there. I'm still finding stuff all over this house, so stuff that I can use, so I'm going to end up keeping it. What I can't use goes recycling. I even got separate bins with all the scrap metal that's going to go out, like all kinds of weird screws and stuff that I have no use for that have been here since the 70s, so they'll all get recycled. Good morning, welcome back to today's vlog. I'm back down in the shop. I got the hoops that I've let them sit for a couple of days just to be sure. So I'm going to take the clamps off now, and we're going to see if these work or not. Okay, so I've got the clamps and everything off. You can see where I did the repairs here. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to judge. It actually came out pretty decent. I mean, considering I took a little knife and I scraped the excess glue off the front edges there, the flat edges I was explaining before, that has to sit against the drum head. So I got those nice and smooth. There's a little bit of a tiny gap here. It looks bad, but it's actually because the drum wrap around it was cracked as well. So I got it to fit pretty tight, and that's just actually a little bit of a gap. But I think what I'm going to end up doing is throwing some more wood glue on this. Same with this one. This is the one I was explaining the other day that excuse me, that was pretty bad and there was some material missing. So I think what I'm going to do is fill these up with some more wood glue there and let them sit for another day or so, because I mean, I don't want to rush this, because I know if it's not glued properly, as soon as I tighten those lug nuts on to these rims, they're going to crack. So just a little bit of extra insurance. And there you have it. Yeah, it looks like ass right now, but that glue dry is almost pretty clear, or a golden color like the actual color of the wood here, which isn't too bad. So that was that gap I wanted to fill, and I've got some glue drip in here, but filled that up pretty good. I let the first coat sort of get tacky and added some more to it after. So I mean, that's the outer edge anyways. So I mean, like I said, I'm gonna have a lug that covers that anyways, but as I tighten that lug down, I just don't want it to crack. So like I said, I'm just giving it a little bit of insurance. So I'll let this set up for another day, and we'll get onto it, and I'll get it back on the drum and you guys can have a look at it. It's Saturday. Oh, yeah. Hey guys, just making myself a protein shake. It is about 12:30. My day's just getting started. It's like 1 o'clock, and I have Pee-wee's Christmas special on the TV. Down in the drum room. I haven't been down here in about a week and a half. Just my wife's been home sick off of work, so I haven't been able to play a lot. And our last two rehearsals have been canceled because we got a ton of snow. So I heard on the Weather Channel last night here in Barrie, we got a meter of snow already, which is about 3.3 feet. For my U.S. friends, that's a lot of snow in like the last 2 weeks, and they're calling for more. There's another storm warning today between tonight and tomorrow, so I'm sure I have to get out there and snowplow the driveway again, and then just to try to stay on top of it for tomorrow so I don't have 1.5 feet of snow out there. But anyways, getting back to the drums, there's my kit again. So there's the spare kit I had. So I actually bought all this, was all one kit. So it was a double bass kit, had 2 bass drums, the 2 rack toms up there, plus this rack tom and 2 floor toms, which all these are all different sizes. So I made a huge monster kit, but I don't need all that crap. Plus moving it sucks. I mean, just moving the one kit, this little 4-piece kit that I'm playing, with all the hardware and the cymbals and everything like that, it's still about 5 or 6 trips and stuff, and the hardware bag weighs a ton, so it's trying to cut the weight down, and there's no way I'm going to carry a monster kit. Plus all the stages we play on are like tiny. Like I barely get this kit set up on the stage, let alone something like that. But anyways, hey guys, it's 4 o'clock. I am going to attempt to start the driveway. I just spoke to somebody on Kijiji, picking up some used rims and tires, some snow tires for $100. I'm not going to complain. I'll probably get another 1 or 2 years out of them, but those I can throw on myself. So anyways, I'm going to start the driveway, and the wife is keeping an eye on my email when this guy emails me back or texts me. So we'll see what happens. Hey, it's about 5 o'clock. I just finished doing the driveway. I'm in the car on the way to pick up those snow tires. It's not too bad out. It's -3, which is 38 Fahrenheit. Yeah, I had to get it done because they're calling for freezing rain and crap tonight. So last thing I wanted to do was try to do the driveway with a layer of ice on it. So yeah, I'm keeping my eyes on the road, so don't worry. I'm not looking at the phone. But roads seem to be pretty good for now. It's snowing again, which is not supposed to, but we'll see. And then I'll have to show you guys the snowmobile trails up here one day too. It's all farmer fields once we get out of my little area here, and the farmers are really good and actually let the city set up proper snowmobile trails, and they can they use all the farmers fields and everything too. Actually, there's a sled out there right now. If you can, oh, you can't. The phone's backwards. You can see him out there. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Hey guys, got the tires all picked up. And this guy lives on a court and hadn't even plowed his road yet. Good thing I got 4x4 because I still had a tough time. And it's a good thing I didn't have to go much farther down this road because the looks like there was an accident or something. They got the road closed. So, down in the basement again. Yeah, I'm home from picking up those tires. They're still in the back of the car. Probably end up throwing those on tomorrow. Just keeping an eye on these hoops. I still need to touch them up a little bit, I think. There's one of the repairs that I did, which actually, having a better look at this hoop, if you could see it, there's actually a flat spot. So this was definitely dropped. It's broken there, and then I noticed the crack up there when I was repairing it, but didn't think much of it. So probably just throw some wood glue on that. And this one here came up pretty decent. Needs to put some more glue in there though. As you can see, the it's sunk in there. It was pretty deep, so I'm gonna put some more in there just to strengthen it up a little bit. Sorry, I keep putting my hand over the camera, but anyways, and yeah, there's a snare stand I need to repair and leave it to Pearl. There's a little plastic thing that goes in here, and that's what you tighten down, and the plastic piece cracked, and of course they don't just sell just the plastic piece. I have to buy this whole part of the snare stand, and yeah, that's like $100. I'm like, I think I only paid freaking like $149 or something for that snare stand. So anyways, I don't need it right now, so it's on the back burner. See if I can fix that up. But yeah, it's some other junk to do down here. Yep. Funky Christmas lights. Welcome back. It's like 8:30. You could probably hear in the background I threw some laundry and I figured I'd get a head start. Usually wait till, like, you do it every 2 or 3 days, but wanted to get a jump on it so I don't have to spend most of the day tomorrow doing it. But got it in there, just checking on the hoops. Actually, what I did too is on this one is I actually used some tape and built a channel and then filled that in. I just threw another coat on there. Same with that crack there. The first stuff I had on there dried pretty good, so and it shrunk, which it normally does. But yeah, I'll get that cleaned up tomorrow, and got some pretty fine files. I'll file it all down so it looks half decent. But anyways, like I said, it's 8:30. I probably still have another 2 hours doing the editing and getting it posted. Saturdays are probably the worst day to post stuff on YouTube, just because everybody's doing it and it takes forever. So I'm going to call it for the night. Try to get back on this every day if I could, maybe every other day. Like I said, winter's pretty boring time. You don't really get to go out much. So anyways, just please like, comment, share, subscribe, and always remember, rock on.